Good evening, Bahamas. Coming up tonight.
Former Prime Minister Perry Christie sounding off on why he's not accepting the Minister administration's national honors.
The opposition leader questions the financing behind the Grand Lucayan Resort.
Vendors react to the Grand Lucayan sale.
Our News is brought to you by Alive.
Welcome to Our News and thanks for joining us. I'm Kyle Joachim. Top news tonight as two former governors general were installed today as members of the Order of the Nation. One former prime minister is explaining why he refuses to accept the honor, which was bestowed upon governors general and prime ministers as part of the country's first national honors. Jared Higgs reports.
It was recently reported in a local daily that both Christie and Ingram would not be accepting the national honors. Ingram refused to give his reasons for refusing the national honor. However, Christie explained that he wrote to Governor-General Dame Marguerite Pinling declining the award due to matters that have transpired since the Free National Movement took office last May.
I told her in a letter that due to circumstances and developments that have taken place since the elections, I would not wish to accept the award at this time.
Those circumstances Christie referred to are the criminal charges brought against former Cabinet Minister Shane Gibson and Kenred Dorset, as well as former PLP Senator Frank Smith. Gibson and Dorset are both facing bribery charges, while Smith is accused of extortion and bribery. Christie says the former parliamentarians were members of his administration, and considering that the honour is bestowed based on him having served as Prime Minister, he won't accept it until their matters are concluded.
This is the order of the nation. It's to my position as the Prime Minister of the Bahamas. That position was contributed to by two persons, or three now, who have been charged before the criminal courts. And whilst those cases are going on, I deemed it not appropriate for me to accept any kind of honor until such time as justice is done and seen to be done.
Christie was asked why he declined the honour after a ceremony where former Governors General Arthur Hanna and Sir Orville Turnquest were bestowed with the Order of the Nation Award. Former Prime Minister Hubert Ingram was also asked why he has reportedly turned down the national honour. He was more guarded in his response, saying that the occasion was about Hanna and Turnquest.
Today is Mr. Hanna's day, and Sir Orville Turnquest's day, not my day. I'm not going to allow you to make it into anybody else's day. It is their day. I'm very happy that they got it.
Christie added that since the National Honours Act was enacted under his leadership, it isn't something that he would completely walk away from, apparently keeping the door open for him to one day accept the award. Reporting for Our News, I'm Jared Higgs.
While opposition leader Philip Davis has described government's decision to purchase the Grand Lucayan for the full asking price of $65 million a nightmare and an act of sheer folly. Davis told reporters the government has no clear plan or vision for the hotel. He also questioned where the funds will come from. Jillian Gray has that.
I'm dreaming my life away. I think that's what they're doing.
If the Minister administration thinks it can purchase the Grand Lucayan for $65 million, then sell it right away, officials are dreaming, says opposition leader Philip Davis, who chalked up the decision to buy the shuttered hotel as a mission of folly.
There's a song in the background, right? Basically sums up what I think about what they're doing. Right? They are dreaming, right? And that dream is nothing but a nightmare for the Bahamian people. They are on a errand of folly.
The Prime Minister announced yesterday that government has already made a down payment of $10 million, signed a sales agreement, and will complete purchase within 30 days. However, a hefty hotel purchase was not budgeted for. Therefore, it is unclear where the $10 million deposit and the remaining $55 million will come from. While the Prime Minister made many revelations yesterday while touring the Grand Lucayan, the opposition leader said he left one critical detail out. How is he going to pay for that purchase?
This is being done without any coherent plan as to how they are going to, for example, recoup this money. What business plan have they developed? How will this be beneficial for the government at the end of the day? Have they set out a business plan to say, well, the capital we're going to invest is $65 million. We have to renovate the hotel. That's going to cost an additional what? We don't know.
Davis also responded to Dr. Minnis' assertion that government may open the Memories Resort, but not Breakers Key. Officials also do not plan to conduct renovations. The opposition leader likened this to flushing $65 million down the drain.
What is the economic impact for Grand Bahama to sink $65 million in an entity that's closed? It's not a going concern. And there's a distinction to be made when you're acquiring property that is a going concern than one that is just shut and closed. Because you spend $65 million now, you have to embark on renovations. That will take time. The impact of that will not be felt, and not immediately. You'll not feel it, I dare say, within the next maybe 2 years. And so it's just a waste of money.
The Prime Minister has said he would reveal full details in Parliament next month. Reporting for Our News, I'm Jillian Gray.
All right, thanks, Jillian. Well, despite heavy criticism, those who live and work near the Grand Lucayan say critics should keep their mouths shut because they have not lived through the years of hardship. With more on this, here's Jasmine Brown.
Those vendors reacting to the news that the government has purchased the hotel as they insist it's just what Grand Bahama needs.
Once somebody buy it, we just need it open, and that people will be able to get some jobs because people have families to take care of.
Mother of four, Philippa Burrows, was just one of dozens of vendors who expressed excitement over the government's move to purchase the property. Like others in her line of work, Burrows says they have been struggling for years. Fellow vendors Jewel Russell and Elsie Clark say while the pending purchase may not solve all of Grand Bahama's woes, it's a start on the road to recovery.
I feel great about that.
Why?
At least it's a start. Because it's nothing. Absolutely nothing. But at least it's a start. Once they get started, something's going to happen. Good.
If they get that early, that'd be good because they're slow. That's slow. Because nothing happening and you're dead. So Grand Bahama, really, really dead.
Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis confirmed on Wednesday that the government has signed a sales agreement with Hutchison Whampoa for the purchase of the Grand Lucayan Resort at a final sale price of $65 million. Minnis said the government made a down payment of $10 million and will pay the remaining $55 million in installments. The PM declined to give a time period for those payments or how the government will raise these funds, saying he would reveal more in Parliament. Minnis made the announcement following a tour of the property with a near 40-member delegation made up of cabinet ministers, other senior government officials, MPs, and the media. He toured Memories Hotel, Breakers Key, and the still-open Lighthouse Point. He also visited nearby Port Lucaya Marketplace, where he was greeted by elated vendors.
You come to open up my hotel, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I love you. Yes, hi.
Oh, I love you too.
I love you, darling.
Okay.
Yes.
These women were nearly moved to tears as they greeted the Prime Minister and his delegation.
Oh, no, I'm not worried about them. Oh, no. You know, the ones who criticize, saying not to buy the hotel, they're not wearing our shoes in Grand Bahama.
See, the persons on the outside who are complaining, they're not a cab driver. They don't know what it's like. So when I heard that the government was buying, I was all for it because I'm tired of the tourists coming. Oh, what happened to the hotel? When is it? You know, why is it? And you have no answer.
But not everyone was so welcoming as this man gave the PM his honest take on the purchase.
All you got to do is, to me, run it right. Let no thief going on, let no stealing going on. Don't put your friends in position, Mr. Prime Minister. Don't put your good friends there to dog the people. Don't let people undermine the protocol. Let them go through the procedure and run the hotel right. That's all you need, you know. And once it run right, guess what? Everything will fall in line.
Oh, that would happen.
Well, I pray that you do it. because that's all we need.
Now, the Prime Minister did address that concern during Wednesday's press conference, telling ministers present that he did not want his cabinet colleagues to come forward with a list of constituents they would like to be hired at the hotel. Minnis also says the government has no intention of staying in the hotel business for very long. He explained a committee will be formed to help this process. Reporting for our News, I'm Jasmine Brown.
Well, the Grand Lucayan has dominated news headlines in recent weeks, but the media and a large delegation led by the Prime Minister got to venture inside the hotel yesterday for the first time since it was shut down 2 years ago. The property features well-manicured lawns and pristine ocean views. However, there were also drained pools, moldy dark hallways, damaged walls, partially furnished guest rooms, and abandoned restaurants.
This is the lobby area. I'm going to go up the steps to the main lobby, and I'll reception see a few rooms. This is the only main dining room in here, three-meal dining room in this building. In the past, when Memories is open, we utilized 2 restaurants in the casino.
Following the hours-long tour, Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis explained why it was important to give Bahamians a first-hand look at the property.
I wanted you to see for yourselves the hotel, the state is in, what exactly it comprised of, and I needed you to see the surrounding communities and the impact the hotel has on those communities. I wanted to give you an opportunity to talk to those individuals yourselves. Don't take my word for it, talk to those individuals yourselves. I wanted you also to see the impact the surrounding areas suffered as a result of the closure of Royal Oasis.
In other news, 2 former governors general were bestowed with the Order of the Nation Award in a ceremony at Government House. Arthur Dion Hanna, who served as Governor General between 2006 and 2012, and Sir Orville Turnquist, who served between 1995 and 2001, were presented with the honor in the presence of senior government officials, family, and supporters. Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis congratulated and thanked the men, who are 90 and 89 respectively, for their lifelong service to the country.
Both men answered the call to national service and to the betterment of the lives of their fellow citizens. They were early on the front lines, fighting for a more just and equal Bahamas. They were men in the arena. Both men generously lent their ideals and their considerable talents and intellect to political and national development, including the struggle for equality.
Hanna, the father of Engliston MP Glenys Hanna Martin, has also served as Deputy Prime Minister. He served as a Member of Parliament between 1960 and 1992. Turnquist, the father of former National Security Minister Tommy Turnquist, also served as Deputy Prime Minister. Minnis says it's a blessing that the nation was able to honor them.
It is so wonderful that these men are still happily with us and that we are able to celebrate with them their investiture as members of the orders of the nation. I know that your respective families and your Bahamian family are proud of you both, and you are grateful for your dedicated service over the more than 6 decades.
Former Prime Minister Hubert Ingram says he was especially pleased that Hanna was honored, considering he turned down the Queen's honors on more than one occasion.
But I'm very happy, especially happy Lady Hanna got it today, because he's one of those Bahamians who refused to accept the awards from Her Majesty. Very, very happy that he's got it today. He'd been offered it several times. The last time was when he was the Minton office, and he refused. He always wanted it to be a Bahamian honor. I'm disappointed that Archbishop Boyd didn't get his own, because he was the one minister of the gospel that they offered who said he would wait until the Bahamian had their own awards.
Still to come on our news, the life and legacy of James Catlin remembered. Stay tuned.